Okay, so it's time to clean some sterling silver, and I'm going to try this copper bar too. But I'm not going to use any chemicals or any harsh cleaners. What we're going to do is we're going to use a little bit of aluminum foil, salt, baking soda, and warm water. And that's pretty much it. And we'll just see how it works out. Here you'll see this guy is really toned and tarnished. But I want to do these spoons first. They're in pretty good shape. The aluminum foil is going shiny side up. And stay tuned for my next video, which is going to explain why I bought these silver spoons. Yep, these silver spoons. And the video is going to be called Silver Spoons. Okay, so anyway, here we got our foil in here. That should make it look a little better. And what you do is you put in some baking soda. That's about 2 tablespoons. And about the same amount of salt. Approximately 2 tablespoons. Like that. Then this here is warm water, just a little warmer than lukewarm. And we're going to put that in there. And I'm just going to put all these spoons in here, stir it around a bit. These spoons actually were in pretty good shape to begin with. And I cleaned them up really well, just hand washing them in the sink, because I wanted to make sure there wasn't any polish on them, because I'm actually going to plan on using them to eat and stir my coffee and stuff like that. Okay. So those are actually in pretty good shape. And then I just got a pot of clean water here, which will rinse them off in. And then I got a towel there, just I'll set them on there to dry. So these spoons are sterling silver. They're 925, which means they're 92.5% silver and 7.5% copper. I picked these spoons up actually at my local coin shop a couple weeks ago. And if you watch my video, my next video, I'm going to explain why I bought them. So there we go. That's the spoons. They're all looking pretty sharp. Although they weren't too bad to begin with. This guy, however, is a sterling silver cup I bought a couple years ago. Really toned. It was used. And I'd never bothered to clean it until now. I'm going to add a little more water here because it's a larger item. And we're going to stir that around in there. I don't know if you can tell, but that's already coming out a lot better. not quite perfect. And it's interesting, there's quite a smell coming off of that. I might just let that sit in here for a bit, and I'll get back to you on it. Okay, so I've had that cup sitting in there for a minute or two while I just went and got some more warm water. And what I'm going to do here, just for the full effect, is actually put some salt and baking soda directly in there. There's a little salt, a little more baking soda. There we go. So now, if you recall at the beginning, this was really, really tarnished. And if you take a look at it now, I would say it's about 50% of the tarnish is gone. So that worked pretty good. I'm okay with that. I'm just going to give it a little rinse here. And we'll put that over here. There we go. That's there with the spoons. And now I want to try this copper bar because it's really tarnished. It's approximately 1 kilogram. And I actually bought it at a metal supply spot. Now, if you're doing this at home, you may want to make sure that the foil is secured a little tighter because I lost some of the solution around the outsides of it. Not bad. It looks to me like that's actually cleaning up pretty nice too. Add a little more warm water in there. And a little more salt. And a little more baking soda. There we go. So that is cleaning up, although it's not perfect yet. So I'm going to leave it in there for maybe 5 or 10 minutes, and then we'll take a look at it again. Okay, so I've had this in here now for about another 3 or 4 minutes, and as you can see, that copper bar now is actually coming out quite nice. There's still some toning on it, or tarnish, and there's still some tarnish on this cup, although I would say it's at least 70 to 80% better. So what I'm going to do is just rinse that bar off in there. You can see how nice those spoons turned out, though. I did those first, and so I suspect the cup in this bar didn't come perfectly clean because this water is a little bit contaminated or dirty. So I'm actually going to switch the water and redo it with a new solution, and then I'll be back. Okay, so here we are again. I've got fresh rinse water, fresh warm water, and I cleaned out this pot with the foil. You can see how nice that cup is starting to turn out, but there's still enough in there. I want to get it a little cleaner, and this bar is also probably halfway there. So let's try this again. This time I'm going to put that cup in there empty, throw in some baking soda right away, and some salt. And just to switch it up, I'm going to try pouring this warm water right in that cup. See how that works out for it. Not bad. Not bad at all. Okay, so this is still going. There we go. Yeah. I'll put a little more baking soda in there. And a little more salt. I had to go get more warm water again because this pitcher is just not quite large enough. I want that water to go right over the whole thing. There we go. I think I'm just going to let that sit in there for a little bit. We'll see how that works out. Okay, so this cup's been in here for about another minute or so. Obviously it was really, really tarnished, or it would have cleaned up much more nicely and more quickly. But the areas that weren't too bad have cleaned up really nice, and the areas that were really bad look like they're about 70% cleaned up. So I'm okay with that for now. We're just going to rinse that off in here. In that fresh water. You can see the bottom there is nice and clean now. The inside's pretty much there. And let's put this copper bar back in here again. I'll leave that in there for about 5 minutes, then we'll check on it again. Okay, so it's been a couple minutes. This copper bar back in here. So I'm not thoroughly impressed with how it came out, but at the same time, if you compare it to how it looked before, it's come out pretty good. That's right. Anyway, there you go. That's a pretty easy, simple way to clean up sterling silver. Those spoons turned out great, but they weren't too bad to begin with. This cup turned out pretty good. And the bar, yeah, turned out okay too. Have a great day.